Tents could be banned all year round in Medford. That's one of the goals of a proposal to Medford's prohibited camping ordinance. Another one, banning camping on Bear Creek Greenway during fire season.
Proposed camping ordinance would prohibit camping on the Greenway during fire season and ban tents in Medford all year round.
Most recently, they raided camps on November 4th using the U.S. elections as cover. As temperatures drop below freezing, the City of Medford and Medford Police Department continue to show they do not stand with our houseless neighbors.
Documenting. Back up. I'm walking back.
Hey, you need to back up. I'm telling you. Back up is what I said. You understand? Do you understand what you're hearing me?
Yeah, I am fine.
Stay right there.
Hi, my name is Moss. My pronouns are they, them, and I helped get this going.
I am Nick Stanley, he, him. I'm Nick. That's just me. My name is Michael Workman. I run my mom and stepdad's small business, Portal Brewing, right downtown here in Medford. I have lived in Southern Oregon for the majority of my life. I'm not from anywhere else.
My name is Logan Vanderkoy, and someone who lives in Oregon, homeless right now, trying to make the best of it.
My name's Joe, and I've lived here most of my life. Never done a lot of homeless, out on the street stuff, but recently, like the last 5 years, I have.
JUDIS to me is community building and being there for people in ways that we don't usually get to have people.
JUDIS is a mutual aid thing that my friends and I came up with right after the fires. We had a mutual aid camp that we worked on at Hawthorne Park during the fires. And after that got raided, there was a lot of ideas thrown out. We were like, let's do a winter camp because people are gonna fucking freeze to death. And then we were like, let's do a mutual aid truck that we drive out to the Greenway, to different spots on the Greenway, where we just bring supplies when people need shit. We've mixed all those together to form this truck behind us, where we do mutual aid supplies. We do a pop-up warming tent during the winter, where we have some big old propane heaters and some walls, and COVID safe-ish masks, and like trying to keep some air flowing through still, and serving dinner. You know, when we first started out, we were doing like we were making dinner every night. It was a lot of work, but it was like really cool to bring like home cooked meals out to folks. And then we got in touch with Rogue Foodie Nights, and they're still doing meals for us every Friday. We still cook every Saturday. We were doing 4 nights a week in the winter, and we've dropped down to 2 nights a week during the summer. And it's just been really busy since the Medford ordinance passed. It's kind of like a good check-in spot for folks. They let us know like what's going on with them and like people they haven't seen for a while, so we can keep our eyes peeled. I don't know. It's a lot of things.
For me, JUDIS is a group of kids got together to come out and just provide a safe place for some of the most vulnerable people in our city.
JUDIS is
Judy's is named after Judy Berry, who is a big homeless advocate and activist, as well as an environmental activist. Most famous for, in common circles, most famous for their song, "The FBI Stole My Violin." Very good song. We just thought it was funny and also very fitting because, like, her daughter currently is running a houseless advocacy in Colorado. So just a little tribute to her. Judy started December of 2020. Medford didn't open up the warming shelters that they were supposed to when it gets below freezing. We got a grant for fire relief from Southern Oregon Rising Tide. And through Southern Oregon Rising Tide, we were able to buy this truck, a big, like, wall tent, and some heaters, propane heaters, and we created a warming shelter ourselves.
Geez, yeah. So Judy started in the winter, definitely. There was no other warming shelter in the city. They just decided it wasn't worth, providing a warm place for people when it's below freezing outside. And so some really amazing new friends of mine just found a way to make their own warming shelter. And can't start something like this without a little bit of funding. I think some people with a little more experience in writing and activism, they wrote a letter to apply for a grant. From there, we just kind of talked to people on the street to see, what kind of heaters are going to work, and see what's needed and what we can do. And
Well, we've received a lot of support. Dr. Bronner's gave us a shitload of soap and hand sanitizer, when we were first starting out. And we were really freaked out about COVID, just trying to figure out, how are we going to do this and be safe. We've received some funds and resources from Oregon Food Bank, Medford Food Co-op, gave us a fucking pallet of water. Rogue Food Unites has fed so many people through our efforts through the truck. The coffee roasters in Jacksonville, Cerberus Coffee, all of our coffee comes from them. It's really good coffee, which is nice. So we're not bringing fucking Folgers out here. It's really nice coffee. I think the people that pay attention and the people who are actually been working to try to help people out here are excited about what we do. So it's been great.
We get mixed up with the stabbing wagon a lot.
Hello, my name is Melissa Jones, and I live in the city of Medford. I also run the Stab and Wagon Harm Reduction Unit, Tuesdays and Thursdays at Hawthorne Park. I have been there 12 to 14 hours doing outreach at the park, on the Greenway, driving around the city, setting up hydration stations with community donations, along with some of my friends and other mutual aid organizations. And I'm appalled that you're allowing, in 117 plus degree weather, the sweeps to continue. You've opened a cooling shelter for 3 days because you were publicly shamed into it. And that's the only reason. Yesterday, there were people outside waiting for it to open, but because it wasn't over 102, it was closed. We got the word out. I'm peeling people off the sidewalk, getting them to shade, getting them to the cooling shelter, hydrating them, while you're out there serving eviction notices, and they can't even mobilize to relocate because they're going to die of heat stroke. I think it's disgusting. It's inhumane. None of you give a shit. Kevin Stein, you've been avoiding me for a while.
blocking me on every social media.
Can I remind everyone?
And you're here going to listen to me. Same with you, Randy. Sorry. You're going to listen. No one's listening. We're not going to stand for it. We're not going away. And I'm not going to shut the fuck up. People are going today, and we're not going anywhere, Randy.
I would just like to remind you of decorum for the room, and I want to give everyone.
All cops are bastards.
People fucking hate Melissa Jones, and she gets a lot of hate, but like, whatever, you know. If we get any of that hate, honestly, I'm just kind of proud about it because her work is so fucking important. No one's saving more lives out here than Melissa Jones, so.
People confuse us thinking that that's all we do. Surprisingly, we get a good amount of people that actually want to help us and think that what we're doing is a good thing. So it's very mixed, but like online, it's mostly angry people because they're not comfortable enough with understanding that like nobody needs to suffer just because we did.
I mean, realistically, without Judy's, I mean, during this winter, it was like the only place I could ever be warm at. Like, it was like a safe haven, you know? It kept me safe, kept me warm, kept me alive. So.
I mean, you can get real depressing and get oppressed and shit, and people just don't, they almost don't have a will to live anymore. Rely on other people. And this isn't always there. But Judy's has, like, for food, clean supplies for their use or sexual activity or anything to help to stop the spread of any kind of disease, OHVCs and things like that. They get so depressed and put down and down and down that you even can't walk in the community hardly. So when you actually have somebody giving you clothes or food and you don't have to worry about that, where you have to walk 5 miles to do anything. It's like not going to have to pay them back. They're doing it of their own free will because they care about others. I mean, in what's going on in our world right now.
Since like January, ended up like homeless, like actually homeless because I was in the shelters and stuff before that, and ended up actually homeless like at the coldest part of the winter. And they told me about this, and I was just grateful that they had it like so often during the winter. And I mean, I'd appreciate having it more often during the summer too, but that's just because I enjoy the whole thing. And but I do understand why the winter is a bit more crucial time to have it. So.
Let's see. That was about. Well, when we had the tent community thing going on in the park, I didn't know what it was about because I just got back here, and they wanted me to do one of these things there then, but I didn't do it because I didn't know what it was about completely. And I would say it's not a bad thing.
Siskiyou Street News, and then the Stabbing Wagon stuff probably. Those are the first two.
Ask them to keep an open mind about everything, to come out, because it's not nearly as scary as everybody makes it out to believe. Also, donate as much as possible. We are a group of broke people trying to do for people that have less than us. So we have a Venmo. Siskiyou Street News is our Judy's Venmo, as well as an Amazon wish list. We always need socks. We always need underwear. Water is always a good donation. Coffee condiments. What are those called? Coffee accessories.